This video is going to be a quick overview of how to replace your drive belt or your serpentine belt. And it's a little bit of work, but it's really not as it's not as difficult as maybe it might seem when you see the car all tore apart like this. So I would refer you to pelicanautoparts.com or to ecarguides.com or even FCP Euro. Each of those places have detailed instructions on how-to guides on how to do a project like this, and they sell the parts. So refer to their websites and their information for the detailed instructions, okay? This video is going to be, as fast as I can make it, a quick overview of what's involved, just to kind of give a heads up. It'll also allow me to put part numbers in a description box and then field any questions in the comments area if anybody has that. So let's kind of get into it. So obviously I'm in process. I've actually replaced the belt and the pulleys already, and I'm about ready to button everything back together, and I thought I'd make this video. The first thing you're going to want to do when you're working on your car is get your service cover raised, and then you're going to take out your little air fan deal, right? It just kind of pulls up and and slides out. See those little deals there that mount into the car? So you pop that guy out of place. Of course, that's going to involve removing this little ring from there, and then once that fan is out, your part of your intake will be in here. This guy unplugs. You see that little tab there and that tab right there? They're installed here. That fan that I showed you is there and there. So you'll take those two items out, and then you're going to want to disconnect. This is an E10. It's one of those kind of Torx type of screw deals. You'll take that off, which will be holding this down, and then your coolant cap. Get this out of the way. That's going to need to come out of there in order for your spoiler to be removed. But after I've taken those parts out, probably the next thing I do is the tail lights. There'll be fasteners kind of about right here on your tail light assemblies, and you take those two fasteners out. They're a Torx T25, and then the end of the light is just going to be plugged in down here. Just kind of pushes in a keeper kind of right down in here, and you'll just pull that right straight out, the light. I'll show you that on the lights. So here's the lights. Here's a location where those bolts are. That's the part that just pushes in. So you just pull that out, and then of course there'll be a connector that has on each of the lights. So here's what that looks like. And you'll just, on this little tab right here, you need to pull that up with a little screwdriver. Just kind of push it backward and get it to release. And that's it's going to release that little tab right there. If you can see that down in there, it's going to make that tab go the direction of my finger. It's going to go up, and then you can pull it and release it. That's how all the connectors are on here, by the way. So that's kind of the trick on that. So once you get the tail lights out, then you can start removing your bumper cover. So here's the plastic bumper cover. That's the bottom edge. And there's 13 T25 fasteners here. Up inside the wheel well at about a 10 o'clock position, there'll be one here. And then there's two inside the wheel well here. And then there's the ones a couple across the bottom and the side, 3 down there. Same thing kind of happens on this side. Underneath your spoiler, there's some T25s down here. And then once all those fasteners are out, you'll be able to pop the bumper cover off, and you'll need to disconnect from that connector. Don't get confused. This is an aftermarket backup camera that I installed, so you shouldn't see that on your Porsche unless you've already done the same, in which case you know how to do this job. So here's a spoiler. To remove it, it has 4 bolts. There's going to be 1 on the back corners on each side, and then there's going to be 2 down here. That's also in the area where your fasteners for the taillights will be located. And then, of course, along the back here, those fasteners are for the bumper cover, top edge. So all of those parts come off. There's a connector on that spoiler there, kind of that back corner there. That comes off of this. Same kind of deal. You merely put your screwdriver in here and pry it up to make that little tab go up. So that's the idea there. Once you get that stuff off, you'll need to remove your air box, and it comes off pretty easily. It'll have a 10 millimeter hex head right here and right here, which is underneath the air box. Pop those two guys out, loosen up this band clamp so that way you can remove from the intake there. And then the hose that goes right here is just kind of a squeeze and pull. It came off real easy. That's this guy here. And then it's going to be pretty much free, except for if there's some air lines. So these air lines, these little rubber hoses, they go to these two modules. So, and those air hoses are connected to the back, the little stabs like that, okay? Like that. And so I just pulled those air hoses off of there. And then there's this air line that goes along the top. I wasn't sure where to remove it actually, whether it was supposed to come from that T or what. So as I was kind of just looking around and getting a gentle tug, it came loose from right here. And so that's where I took mine off. Not sure if that's supposed to be where it comes off, but that's what I did. And so then, let's get some light on here. So that's that, as far as getting the air box out of the way. And then you're going to be left with, kind of what we see now. There's this little, there'll be this little belt cover installed right here. It's got 4 fasteners. They're also that weird E10 kind of a deal. This is what I mean by E10. It's these kind of deals. One of those guys right there. And so you'll take his fasteners off and get this little guy out of the way. And then it opens you up to be getting at your belt. And then you'll want to, that right there is your tensioner. So a 31 millimeter boxed end wrench, or I didn't have one of those, and a socket and a breaker bar don't work because of this metal beam right here with lights at. There's just not enough clearance, or there wasn't for me. So I used a huge crescent wrench I had, and I was able to get on there, turn it clockwise. That released the tension on that pulley right there, and then I was able to start slipping the belt off the pulleys and such. There's this little cross beam right here where the light's at. That guy's got to come out, and there's through that hole right there, you put your extension and your socket onto that nut head you see down there, or that bolt head. And you pull that guy out, and the bolt will come out through that hole, and you'll have to tap that little guy out of the way, or gently pry with a screwdriver, get him up out of the way, and then that will allow your belt to come out of there. Obviously, if you're taking the belt out, you can just cut the belt and pull it out, but you won't be able to install the new one with that in the way, so that does have to come out. But when you're doing this job, so you're going to replace your belt, it's a good idea, of course, to replace the pulleys, because those bearings, right, if your belt might last, but if a bearing fails on one of these guys, that'd be a bad day. And then down there, like where the light's at, below the tensioner, is an actual little tensioner shock. Let me show you. It's this guy. And so he's actually what's providing the tension. So you can buy him by himself. You don't have to buy the whole tensioner assembly. That whole thing's pretty expensive, especially if it's got a Porsche brand on it. And so you don't have to do that. This guy is the exact same part that Porsche buys from. It's not a Porsche brand, but it's the exact same manufacturer who makes it for Porsche. It was $35. And if you buy the Porsche one, it comes all as assembly, and it's it's a couple of hundred if I remember right, maybe 300 something. It's a lot. So that's what I chose to do, was to just replace this tensioner device, and then I replaced each of the pulleys with the same manufacturer that Porsche uses for the pulleys, but I didn't get the Porsche branded pulley, but I got the same pulley that is made for Porsche. And they were like 20-30 bucks a pulley versus the 100 to 200 pulley. Like for instance, this assembly right here comes all as one piece, the bracket and the pulley, and it's like 140 bucks at FCP Euro, and I think it's a little more than that at Pelican. And if you get it with a Porsche brand. So there's money to be saved if you just do the diligence on what part you really need. And both Pelican and FCP Euro are great websites, and we'll give you that information and show you, and you can choose for yourself. So it's not like you got to do a ton of research on that. Pelican's website is a little better if you're searching oddball part numbers or cross-reference between OEM numbers and stuff. FCP Euro is pretty good, but I found Pelican is more reliable in the case of like this job. So that's just kind of a little tidbit there. But these are great parts, and so I'd recommend kind of doing that. And the belt that I used, I went ahead and went with a FCP Euro, had a part, this Continental part number, and that's what the 6PK1767. That's what I used, because I cross-referenced. This belt actually is my original Porsche belt that was on there, and I cross-referenced that part number on FCP Euro's site, and it came up with this being this Continental as being the right option for the right length and such. So that's why I went with that, and it was something like 20-30 bucks versus a Porsche branded belt was a little over 100. So I just chose to do that right up to 2012, way outside of warranty. I wasn't worried about the Porsche brand, but I want good quality parts. So anyway, I feel like I'm doing good on that. I'll put part numbers in the description field, and you can ask questions in the comments if you've got anything. But I just want to try to give you an overview of what it takes to do this job. I'd say half a day on a weekend. It's not really that big a deal to take it apart, get it put back together. Obviously, I'm in process of just getting it put back together, but wanted to put this video together before I got any farther along. So hope this video was helpful to you.